Warning: the following video contains certain quotes and offensive language that may offend certain people. On September 9th, 1992, MTV held a live broadcast where the biggest band in the world at the time, Nirvana, played one of their hit songs on stage for fans to enjoy on television and in person. Months prior, on January 11th, Nirvana's album Nevermind topped the Billboard charts, knocking Michael Jackson's Bad out of first place. On the same night, Nirvana made their first appearance on Saturday Night Live. Where after the show, Kurt Cobain and his wife Courtney Love went back to their hotel and took heroin, where Kurt Cobain would overdose and temporarily die and be revived by Courtney. Originally, Nirvana was going to open for the MTV VMAs. They were given a 4-minute time slot where MTV wanted them to play Smells Like Teen Spirit, but Kurt requested to play 2 new songs that would fit in the time slot. MTV initially agreed with this situation until they had heard Nirvana doing a sound check for one of those 2 songs. Nirvana began playing Rape Me, the 4th track off of their 1993 record In Utero. MTV then told Nirvana they were no longer allowed to play those new songs and had to play one of their hits, or else Nirvana would be taken off the show. Nirvana initially stood on the fact that they wanted to play those 2 songs and were fine with being taken off of the air. But MTV went even further and threatened to fire a friend of the band who worked for MTV if they did not stay on the show and play a hit. Nirvana then agreed to play a different song, and Lithium was chosen to be performed. It was then changed that Nirvana would not open the show, but they would play in the middle. The beef. Guns N' Roses was also attending the VMAs with Nirvana. This became an issue as Axl Rose, the lead singer of Guns N' Roses, and Kurt Cobain had a good amount of beef with each other. This was a public beef, however, and previously Dave Grohl had said, "I remember that when Nevermind first came out, Axl was a big fan of us. Guns N' Roses was about to do this massive stadium tour with Metallica, and they wanted us to open. So Axl had been calling Kurt non-stop. One day, we're walking through an airport, and Kurt says, 'Fuck, Axl Rose won't stop calling me.' I think it represented something bigger. Nirvana didn't want to turn into Guns N' Roses, so Kurt started talking shit in interviews, and Axl started talking back. It went back and forth like 10th grade bullshit. Then, we went to the awards, and our trailers were all within the same 100 yards, and Courtney was there, which never makes things easier. So it didn't take much to blow up into a full-fledged showdown. Kurt and Courtney were screaming at Axl, Axl screamed back. It was just soap opera bullshit. Axl was resentful of Kurt because of his refusing to be part of their show. Just 5 days before the VMAs, at an Orlando Guns N' Roses show, Axl said, "Kurt is a junkie with a junkie wife," and then said, "If their baby is deformed, I think they both ought to go to prison." Right before the VMAs, Kurt and Courtney spotted Axl Rose outside of their trailer, where Courtney jokingly asked Axl Rose, "Do you want to be the godfather of our child?" Where Axl responded to Kurt, "You shut your bitch up, or I'm taking you down to the pavement." So sarcastically, Kurt turns to Courtney and says, "Shut up, bitch." Axl walked away with no response, but the situation made its way to Duff McKagan, the bassist for Guns N' Roses, who later admitted he was drunk and high at the show. In response, he found Chris Novoselic backstage and went after him with the intentions of starting a fistfight. Chris did not refuse, and so they punched each other around until MTV producers split them up. Since then, the 2 bassists have made up. Finally, the actual performance. There aren't many things to talk about with the actual performance, but a few things occurred. Since Nirvana knew how much MTV hated Rape Me, they planned on playing a little bit of it as a joke in the beginning, because they knew that MTV was ready to cut to commercial if Nirvana started playing.
And now for all your lawn care needs, it's Nirvana!
So Kurt opened up with the Rape Me riff. He played about 13 seconds of the song before going right to Lithium. Lucky for Kurt, he stopped playing Rape Me mere milliseconds before MTV cut to commercial, Near the end of the performance, Chris Novoselic is seen tossing his bass up in the air and failing to catch it, and instead being smacked on the head by the body of it. He is then seen scrambling off stage while holding his head. After the show, Dave Grohl, the drummer, walks up to the mic and repeatedly says, "Hi Axl," to mock the situation before the show. Dave then went to go look for Chris, where he finds him drinking champagne in a closet with Brian May from Queen. Kurt went backstage, where two pianos lied on a hydraulic lift, in which one of them he proceeded to spin on. Later, those same two pianos are lifted on stage where Axl Rose and Elton John are playing the pianos, in which Kurt says, "Fuck, I spat on Elton John's piano," and everybody laughed.